Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, the show all about Nintendo and friendship. Hey, last week we asked you, everybody's doing acquisitions, who should Nintendo acquire? And you answered, and we're going to react to those answers. Micah, are you ready?
Yep.
Let's just jump on into it. All right, our first answer comes from the one and only legendary Monkey Thunder, who says that Nintendo should buy Capcom. I feel like that's a solid pick, honestly.
Yeah, they got games. It's pretty cool.
They got games. I would love to see what Nintendo would do with Mega Man. I feel like they could make Mega Man work better than Capcom's been making Mega Man work.
That was the last time they made a Mega Man game.
Not super long ago, right?
I feel like it's been a while. I don't really follow Mega Man too closely. But
Latest.
do you think they would make good Resident Evil games, Nintendo? Or I guess
Ooh.
it's not necessarily Nintendo making them. Nintendo just now owns Capcom.
Right.
But they might then want to put their Nintendo touch on Resident Evil, which would kind of make it not Resident Evil. Then again, they did have Revelations. The Wii or 3DS or something, or Wii U, I think. And I think those scored well, so who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. Does Nintendo have a horror
I
game?
feel like I said a lot to say literally absolutely nothing.
Okay, you just
I feel like
you just
Fatal Frame,
defined
and
our
that's
whole
not even a Nintendo game.
podcast. You just find our whole podcast in a single sentence. I said a lot to say nothing.
I don't think
Let's
there's
put
any
that
like
on a
first
t-shirt.
party.
And the last game in the Mega Man like main line was Mega Man 11 in 2018.
Not that long,
No.
but still decent amount of time.
Yeah. Then they got the Battle Network Legacy Collection this year. There's some cool stuff they could do with that. But yeah, Resident Evil. Doesn't Capcom also make Street Fighter?
Yes. But when was the last time there was a good Street Fighter game?
I think the newest one was pretty well received.
When did that come out? I don't pay a lot of attention to Street Fighter or
It came out
Capcom in
real recently, or is it
general.
not?
Really?
Street Fighter 6.
How embarrassing! They're only on 6, and Mortal Kombat's already like rebooting back to 0.
Wait a
Look
second.
at that, 93%.
It
Like
came out.
this video,
It came out June 2nd.
scored real good. Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently it's a good game. I got it. I got a controversial opinion about
Street Fighter?
actually Resident Evil.
Oh, okay.
And that's that Resident Evil 5 is the best Resident Evil.
Oh.
Just because
that
of the
is
co-op.
controversial.
The
That is
co-op in
controversial.
Resident Evil 5 is so good because the controls are kind of garbage and so clunky that you have to rely on your ally to save you.
That's the next one up for a remake, though, too. Are they going to remake it?
That would be great.
That would be funny.
I've played through that game like 5 times.
That was a good answer.
Chris punches a boulder.
Oh
Look up
yeah.
that clip if you can.
No, I've
It's
seen
the greatest
that.
video game clip in the history of the world.
Yeah, Capcom's a good pick. Oso says that he thinks that Nintendo would ruin Capcom. You see that in the Discord?
I did.
Because Capcom has had some really good games by themselves lately.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with something that's not broken.
That's fair. Spider Shan suggests Disney with a winky face. So Nintendo buys Disney. Or the rights to their video games. All right, let's not get crazy. They're not going to buy all Disney, but they're going to be like, hey, we want to exclusively make Disney games. Yes. Remember when Disney games were good? Actually, that was mostly from Capcom.
But yeah, not really. I didn't really play any of those great Disney games,
Man,
but I've
they
heard
were,
about them.
but also Disney Interactive had some awesome games. I mean, Epic Mickey I thought was real cool, cool concept, and had some jank, but was good. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It would just be cool to see some Nintendo with Disney IP. As silly as that sounds.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, our Nintendo could do some pretty cool things, like you said, with Disney. I got a little distracted because I was curious and I googled Chris punches a rock, and the first like 400 results are Chris from Resident Evil in that cutscene. Distracted, it's just so good. Everyone should look it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I would like to see for uh, a Disney game. I mean I think just a Mickey Mouse game by Nintendo. That
It's like half the way there for another Kingdom Hearts by Nintendo.
oh yeah, Nintendo doing Kingdom Hearts would be real cool. That'd be real cool. And then I mean, if Nintendo gets in on it, then there could be
They could just throw in their own characters.
yeah.
Mario could be
Oh
in there.
my gosh, can you imagine you traveling between different Disney worlds, and then boom, it's like a Mario world. That would be so cool. That's like my dream childhood game right there. Just like ask 7-year-old Andros what he wants, and that's what I like. I want Kingdom Hearts, but with Mario in it.
Not Plock 2.
No, because at that point in my life, all I knew was Plock 1, and that Plock 2 was just around the corner.
Yeah.
It's just like how you are with Metroid Prime 4 right now. Oh,
I don't
it's
know what you're
coming.
talking about.
It's
I've
coming.
given up all hope on that game.
uh, next answer comes from Seth. $2 hero says Grezzo. Do you know who Grezzo is?
Of course, I know who Grezzo is. They make great
Grezzo
games.
Grezzo has done a lot of the ports for Nintendo games, including The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time 3D, Majora's Mask
Don't
3D,
don't forget Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion, Link's Awakening for the Switch. Um, so basically, I I'm going to wager a guess here. I don't know. Did Seth expand on this at all? No, he didn't. I'm going to wager a guess here that Seth wants a dedicated 2D Zelda team. And it makes sense. This makes sense. Pick up Grezzo, who's done it, who knows the series, who's been trusted with games in the series to be a dedicated 2D Zelda developer. Well, they also have a couple original titles like Ever Oasis and Line Attack Heroes.
And potentially Jet Dragon.
So yeah, let's do it and have them port Luigi's Mansion again to Switch.
Why not?
All right, another answer here from Spider Shan. Would it be dumb to say Square Enix? Like, I don't actually want Square Enix to get bought by any of the big three, but I'm scared that they are going to mismanage themselves into falling apart. So many missteps lately, and I'm starting to think games like Dragon Quest III Remake will never actually happen. Yeah, that seems like one that would be on the chopping block to go. And they seemed like they were positioning themselves to sell.
Yeah, your mic died.
I think this is an unreasonable. Pull up my other microphone that's been on the charger.
What happens if you use both at once?
Hello, hello. I
That's
think it just
disappointing. It
it
sounded
just came as
completely
one.
normal.
Well, I think Square Enix would be a great acquisition for Nintendo. Honestly, there's just a lot of good games in this sphere, and they're kind of the kings of RPGs. So it provides a wing, and I think that's where why Capcom I think is a good pick. It provides a good wing to a game genre that Nintendo isn't really covering by themselves.
Yeah,
So they can then jump into making more RPGs. So get Square Enix to be making Paper Mario. Like, man, wouldn't that be crazy? Full circle it, after they made Mario RPG and then Nintendo branched off and made Paper Mario, then they full circle back, buy Square Enix, and then Square Enix becomes the new Paper Mario. Or they just revive Mario RPG, just make more in that. Um, yeah, I think that's a cool idea. Also, Final Fantasy originated on Nintendo devices. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
yeah. A lot of people would be pretty excited about that.
Yep. A lot of people would be pretty disappointed about that too.
Oh yeah, a lot of people would be real
Would be
upset about
real
that.
upset if Square Enix became Nintendo exclusive. But I don't know. I don't know. Flightsy with a controversial answer to this question says, "I don't think Nintendo should acquire anyone." And you know what? I side with Flightsy here. I agree. I don't really want Nintendo to jump in on the acquisition game just for the sake of acquiring things. I think if they are going to acquire someone, it should be small, not a big
It should
merger.
be Devolver Digital.
Devolver Digital isn't really
Like
like a
they're just a
developer.
publisher, but they publish a lot of really cool games, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. What would they do if they
I
acquired?
don't know.
Except just yeah. I don't
They
know.
would make sure the games came on Switch. Which I feel like most of them do, anyways. But
Does Toby Fox have his own company?
it's a
The
good
creator of
question.
Undertale. They should
Yeah,
they should
I,
acquire Toby
I don't
Fox.
know if he.
Just
I mean, he
acquire
probably has
him.
some sort of company because games sold so well and whatnot.
Yeah,
Probably
they
requires
should
maybe
just
some sort of.
acquire him. Just do it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The Pokemon Company. I'm just answering for myself. I completely breezed over Flightsy's answer. Hold on. We'll come back to my answer, Pokemon Company. But yeah, I think that consolidation of the industry is not good for the industry. As we have seen recently, we didn't even talk about this in the news because I didn't do much research into it, but apparently the Embracer Group is experiencing some financial struggles.
That's because they spent like $8 billion buying everyone.
So they've already shut down a game studio that they bought, and it's like the
That's
consolidation
the
of
case.
yeah, the consolidation of the market is not good for the market. All it's doing is shuffling money around and making these big, huge mega teams
I mean,
that don't get anything done. Look at look at Microsoft. Look at Xbox. What new content have we gotten out of that? And they've done nothing but acquisitions for like 3 years. Insanity. It's insanity. I guess we just got
well,
Starfield. So
I think Nintendo should acquire everybody. That's right.
because if
All of them.
everyone's Nintendo, nobody is. Classic syndrome line there from
Yeah.
from the Incredibles. That was
I had an
certainly a take.
actual point, I'm pretty sure, but then I just forgot what it
I'm
was.
sorry, I totally derailed your point. I was gonna say
Well, I
Poke.
derailed my own point by saying Nintendo should acquire everyone as
Um,
well.
Nintendo should acquire the Pokemon Company, at least the games side, because Game Freak is just not. doing a good job with the IP, in my opinion.
Maybe they are doing a good job with the IP, and other companies would have ruined Pokemon by now. You never know.
That's true. I mean, for all the grief we do give them, they've never delved into anything super shady like microtransactions, loot boxes, and all that junk.
Yeah. Plus, people getting upset that there's not one all 1,000 Pokemon with all of their 800 unique animations each. There's just too many Pokemon now for
Yeah,
that to be
that's
like
that's fine,
feasible.
but here's the thing: is then they put in way less, and they still had no animations. Pikachu attack. He just like rotates a little bit.
They just got to go back to the old school where
It's just
the image sprite just wiggled and then something happened.
well, man, when they at the peak of pixel art for Pokemon, it was sick. Pokemon Black and White was like the last pixel art game, and they had like really cool pixel art and animation for these Pokemon. It's like, yeah, they should have just stuck with that. And I think they could honestly make a 2D Pokemon game and it would be successful.
Yeah, but now all I want is open world Pokemon. So they open that box and there's no going back.
I think here's there is. I think they split it. They do what Zelda has done somewhat. They haven't done it recently, and what Mario's done. Mario has made two branches. They now have the 2D games and the 3D games, right? So I have 2D Pokemon and open world Pokemon. Do
But I
that
think they
instead of whatever.
potentially get diminishing returns that way
Yeah,
because they'd be potentially cannibalizing their own sales a little bit. Because if you just make one of the two, then if you're a Pokemon fan, you have to buy that game. But if
that's
you make
true.
both, then they'll be like, well, I'll probably just get the 3D one, or I'll just get the 2D one.
But
But
here's the
then
thing.
they're
Here's the
having
thing.
all these people are paying.
It's Pokemon. So they don't cannibalize their own sales. In fact, they just sell like gangbusters no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Legends Arceus is a spin-off game and is like one of the top 10 selling Switch games of all time. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, crazy sales. Sword and Shield, crazy sales. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, terrible
Yeah,
Pokemon ports, sold
that brings
like
up a good point.
crazy good.
If they started making new 2D Pokemon games, they wouldn't be able to keep making remakes for little effort for $1 billion
Uh,
every year.
you're
So they
right.
can't.
You're
They'll
right.
just keep
And
with the
this is why
remakes.
Nintendo needs to acquire them so that Nintendo can keep the integrity of the series alive. And by that, I mean make good games and not trash ones. Because the ones that Nintendo has been like directly involved with the development of have been like the best ones. Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Actually, maybe it was
I mean,
just Gold, Silver.
as like to be fair, it's just the originals. I was about to say, to be fair, it's also based off like the greatest 2D Pokemon game.
It might be just the originals, but even still, this is like one of the greatest Pokemon game. We'll do some more research into that because that would be a fun pal topic. Let's talk. We'll talk about Game Freak's development history, and because I'm fairly certain Nintendo has only directly helped with a few games, and those ended up being like some of the best ones. So, but for now, we will end it here. Last week we asked you, and last week you answered. Be sure to join up our Discord so that you can be involved in the next round of last week we asked you. And with that, let's end this episode. Micah, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on YouTube and Twitch at Micah Prime.
And you can find me at Andros1 on YouTube and Twitch. You can also follow the show, Nintendo Pals, on all platforms. And please remember to leave us a 5-star review. It really helps us out, helps us feel good about ourselves, and helps you feel good about yourself. You're doing good work by leaving us a 5-star review. And that's where we're going to end the episode. And thank you so much for your patience, everybody, this week, as the setup has been different with me being remote. So yeah, well, things will be more normalized for the next week's recordings. With that,
A week after next week.
yeah, yeah, I'll figure stuff out for next week. I think I'll have a better setup. But with
Okay.
that, signing off. Bye.